Oh, well, I knew this was going on in Hollywood, and that's the thing is I definitely think LA and the film industry is its own bubble with a lot of issues.
Same thing. It is not your typical industry.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've always called it the Wild Wild West because there are no rules, and if there's a director with a script and a lot of money, he can cast whatever leading starlet he wants, and he can pick however he wants to.
And there's a million of us, so he can. There's no reason for them to not choose their own method of casting.
And this is one of the areas that isn't really talked about, is that there are a lot of willing women to participate in that kind of exchange of power, sexual power for, a career or a leading role in a big blockbuster film. And I think it's just Hollywood is its own world. And, I just, it is interesting though, because so we've had these huge stories like, Catholic boys coming out against, priests that were doing sexually horrible things, and then Penn State, and it did get a lot of media attention. It just didn't fit in with the, feminist motivation of wanting to have a movement about sexual assault against women. And, I wonder if maybe they came out at the same time, because the Me Too movement, the Cosby story started long before that, but then the Harvey Weinstein story was really what kicked off the Me Too movement. And then, since then we've had 250 some, mostly guys, that have been accused of sexual assault from the Me Too movement.
It's 200. What did you say the number was?
It's like roughly 250 people. Very few women. Asia Gento was one of the women accused.
Accusing
and then accused, yeah. So, maybe if Penn State and all the different stories of, boys that were being abused in different scenarios, if it came out at the same time, I wonder if the Me Too movement would have been more inclusive.
Would have jumped on that more, would have stuck a little bit more.
Well, and been inclusive in the dialogue that they use, that because if you look at how leaders of the Me Too movement and how the press talks about the Me Too movement, it's so gendered. It says, women are breaking their silence against male perpetrators and horrible men in the entertainment industry and in news and all these different industries. And, it's not just women that are victims of this. And I think it would have been so much better for the movement to have been inclusive in how they talk about these issues, and also with, LGBT rights, which I think feminism really has tried to embrace. Of course, you have, the trans exclusionary radical feminists that don't want to accept men who are transitioning to women.
I'm so confused with the groups at this point.
There are different factions. But, for the most part, I think feminism in the mainstream sense has embraced LGBTQI issues. So if that's the case, then why haven't they been gender inclusive in their dialogue about, Me Too issues? Because certainly, there are, transgender people, and there are men who are victims of this sort of thing. So, but I think feminism in general has taken the stance that we need to focus on men as the perpetrators. So for some reason, that also led into feminism not wanting to accept male victims, which I don't get, because I think we can have space in our compassion bank for caring about male victims, and then also recognize female perpetrators.
Yeah. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching the episode. If you're interested in contributing to the conversation and supporting the show, there's 2 easy things you can do. 1, click subscribe, and 2, visit our Patreon page where you get exclusive access to the Exploring Minds community.